everyone. In today's video, I'm going to dive into how we can use Kami to provide really rich feedback for students and also for it to be more efficient for us, actually a time saver. When we use some of the tools that are available in Kami, like voice feedback and even video feedback with a little screen recording, we can empower learners with the resources they need to be able to self-correct and learn from the feedback that we give them because it's so rich in nature, so that we can actually save time and give more personalized feedback. Also, there's the added benefit of being able to reuse the feedback, because we all know as teachers that when one student makes a mistake, 5 of their students make the same exact mistake. And we can really utilize the annotation bank, which is a feature available in Kami, to be able to kind of copy and paste the rich feedback that we create on one document onto all the other students who need that same feedback. Additionally, we can be teaching in our feedback. So not just give a little correction, but make it into a teaching and learnable moment for our students. So that's what I'm going to dive into in this video, and I'll walk you through the whole process. I hope that you'll enjoy. I'm really going to focus on using all of the multimedia tools that Kami allows, such as screen recording, voice recording, text, and also handwriting. I will also show how you can create just an embedded explainer video right within your feedback that you're giving to students, and have all this content reusable so that you can not only use it for one student, but use it for all the students who may have similar mistakes. Now, the way that I have students turn in their work is they can scan in handwritten work, or they can just upload it as images. It's a little bit clearer as a scanned PDF, so that's what I've done for this demo right here. You can run OCR so that your whole document becomes searchable, so that's something that's wonderful. As well, you will then be able to use the accessibility tools, or students will be able to if they need them, like text to speech. So now let's say that it's time for me to give feedback on this student's work. I usually start with the drawing tools, and I just have a Wacom tablet that is plugged into my Mac so that I have all the ability to handwrite here. Makes it much easier for me as a math teacher. So then I would just choose my color, and I can go about marking things up. One thing to note, if you want to highlight anything, you can change the transparency, and sometimes that is nice to be able to do if you want to make your pen thick and just go ahead and highlight anything. So if I want to just give some simple feedback here, let me change it back to a normal pen. I can mark it up using the pen tool. Also, you can use a text box. You can write directly on the document. You can change the size. You can change the color, just like that. You can also change font, and you can move this around anywhere. Okay, so those things are very simple. You probably already know about them. What I do want to focus on is some of the richer media that you can add with these comment tools. So you can add obviously a text comment, but also voice comment, which can be really powerful for students to be able to self-correct. It also allows you to give some tone, and I find it just a bit faster sometimes to deliver a voice memo than to try and write it all out with tone attached. So I can just click on that little voice recorder option and then click anywhere. So say that I want to leave a comment right here. And at this point, it's recording already. So I really like how you broke this down and showed me what you were thinking over here in this little sidebar. And now that would play back. And at this point, it's recording already. Excellent. If you want to change the color of that dot, you can, but I'm going to just leave it as yellow right there. At this point, students have the written feedback, and they also have a little bit of voice feedback. Now, I said that this can actually be more efficient. And so I really want to focus on this little icon right here, because what that is that adds that voice note to your annotation bank. And that means that I can easily reuse that. Let's say I called this sidebar detail, and then I want to save this to the annotation bank. So now what I'll be able to do is I open up this little sidebar right here. I can actually go into the annotation bank, which is the last option right here. It looks like something that I'm copying because it literally will allow me to copy and paste into any document that I have. I can also organize them into folders, as you've seen I've done. So this just took a moment for my new comment to show up. So now you can see I haven't organized it in a folder quite yet, but I can easily organize it in a folder if I want to. Say that I want to put it in my calculus folder, I can just drag it literally into wherever I want it. So say I want it right there. Now it's organized in my folder. So I have my calculus folder and my tech tips folder. And when I want to reuse this, so say that I want to reuse the comment right down here, which is a bit redundant, but just for demo purposes, stick with me. So I would just drag it into the document. I would plop it down right here. And that audio feedback is now here and it's here. Even if I move to another document, so let's go back to this other one and let's go to the second page here. If I open up the sidebar and now I go into that annotation bank, open up my calculus folder, then I'll see it right here and I can just drag it in right here and at this point it's recording our boom, it's now in my second document here. Awesome. So that's how you can easily reuse feedback. And you know what? It's not just for voice feedback, it's for anything that you've done. So say even like this excellent level of detail is something that I often use on student work. Just if I hover over it, you'll see that it like selects the whole thing. It knows that this is one block. I would just go ahead and save it in my annotation bank, confirm. And so now you see it's added it to the bottom of my list, but I wanted to add this back to my calculus bank. And so now anywhere I go in the document, I can drag and drop that right in, and then I can move it around if I need to. Really great time saver, especially when, you know how it is, when we're grading, we get that same comment on like 10 different documents. Now I just have to write it once and I can write it a little bit more detailed and then just kind of copy and paste it onto multiple students' work. Now, one other thing, say that there's a problem where a lot of people are making the same mistake. So let me just do something. Okay, so let's say that this was student work right here and the student made a mistake in solving this. What I can do is I can help them correct it through a video. So I can go over to the comments and I can just do a screen capture and then click where you want to insert the screen capture. And then you can choose if you want to just do your entire screen. I'm going to leave it at that because it's a little bit easier for right now. So I'm going to just click on it and then go ahead and share. And so now I can explain to the student what the correction is. I'm going to pull up my drawing tools and okay, so let's look at what you did here. So you had x squared plus 5x plus 6, and then you broke it down to x plus 6 and x minus 1. Let's FOIL it out and see if we can identify the problem here. So if we FOIL it, we get x squared as our first term. Our outer would be minus x. Our inner would be plus 6x. And our last term would be minus 6 equals 0. Let's combine like terms. We get x squared plus 5x minus 6 equals 0. Let's go ahead and look back at our original question here, which was x squared plus 5x plus 6. So we definitely have a mistake here. Why don't you try again and see if you can correct that? So now this is really detailed feedback to the student to help them correct their mistake. I've given them a lot of actionable feedback in this particular one, which is so much more informative than if I just wrote this out, which might be confusing. What were you doing? So now students can just play this back and they can make it large. Explain to the student what the correction is. I'm going to pull up my drawing tools and okay, so let's look at what you did here. So you had x squared plus 5x plus 6, and then you broke it down to x. And so you can see they can watch this whole video, they can replay it. It's just a video. It's literally a video embedded within the Kami without me needing to go to another document. Quick 14-second video that's going to give students very actionable feedback. Again, I can save this here. So I'm going to go ahead and add this to my annotation bank. So I might make it specific to this assignment, and I'm going to save that to the annotation bank over here. And sometimes you'll see like it's not showing up right away. Sometimes I do find that I need to just do a quick refresh and then open that sidebar back up. Probably if I was more patient, it would have come up, but there it is. And so now I could reuse this. Let's say I go over to the other student's demo and let's refresh that one. And you'll see that I could pull this same feedback in here, and I could reuse it on multiple students' assignments. So again, that effective, efficient, and very detailed level of feedback, you just can't replicate that with paper. So that's one of the reasons I really love using Kami. So again, all I was doing was using the comment, and I was using the screen capture, pairing that with the ability to draw, and I can create really quick little screencasts embedded right into the feedback that I'm giving students. And then using the annotation bank, I can reuse that feedback, which is so helpful. Don't forget that the annotation bank isn't just for the text comments and the voice comments and the screen capture comments, but it works for anything. So anything you've drawn, and of course you can do the same with any text comments like we talked about before. In addition, because it's so easy to share, you could have students mark up each other's work and give one another peer-to-peer feedback if you're at that level of the class where students are able to give really good feedback to their peers. That is, of course, something you would have to work up to. Anyway, I hope that this video gave you some good ideas and also helped you see, again, how we can use Kami to cut down on our grading time, which is something that I really wanted to focus on here, while also giving students feedback that is more actionable so that they can really learn from whatever corrections that you are providing them right in the Kami, all with one tool. It's collaborative, so it gets shared back with them. All right, and that is going to conclude this video. I hope you learned a thing or two. I hope you enjoyed, and that will be it for me for now. Bye.